Is this top too small? Yeah, okay, one sec. My mic might die mid-video, so if the audio changes, that's why. 2026 Spring Wardrobe Essentials. I haven't filmed one of these in so long, and I don't know why, because I love them, and I feel like they really do help creating a base, navigating trends, and seeing like what could help your closet. These are so crooked. We play too many games in this house. I don't know if that's helping. Let's do it. First of all, it's not even like spring yet in Michigan. Actually, it is. This is Michigan spring. Some days it's 30 outside and some days it's 60, which I feel like is kind of a true spring. I know in California it's already like 90 something outside. Do with this what you will. The first item I have is a light, large trench. I have this kind of like A-line pea coat. It's that true trench coat material. Like, what is the material? I don't know. There's gonna be so many pictures on screen. I think having it bigger is really nice, or if it's just like a wide fit trench coat, not that you have to size up or anything. Mine is from, I got it off Bento, BNTO, like the rental clothing service, but it's from Yumi Row. It's literally the cutest jacket ever, and I always get so many questions on it. This morning it was only 30 degrees outside, and I put a really thin puffer jacket underneath it and that on top, and it did the job while like looking so cute. But then I can still wear it on a day where it's like 60 degrees outside because it's so light. It feels just like a shirt, an extra layer. It's perfect for the springtime and so versatile. I still have so many of my winter coats out, but if I just keep out my little thin puffer jacket and then that trench coat, I have like everything I need all in one. And then next on my list is a fitted jacket. Spring is really like the best time where you can wear your little fitted jackets and show them off. I feel like if you wear them in the winter, you would have to wear them under a fur or a wool trench or a puffer. You can wear your fitted jackets in the spring as just the jacket itself and the shirt, wearing them, you know, buttoned to the top, not knowing what's underneath. I have so many fitted jackets that are trendy right now, whether it's a zip-up leather jacket, suede jacket, military style jacket, marching band style jacket. I think it's like a tang button jacket, but like just fitting all in that style. Any printed jacket, like so many things that are so cute right now. We can finally see and wear, and there's such like a short period of time where you can wear them. They make outfits so freaking cute. Okay, going with the fitted jacket, you can obviously wear any pants or skirt, especially with those kind of jackets. I think a spring essential right now is a fitted pair of jeans or a fitted pair of pants. And normally I don't like telling people a cut or a style of jean or pant to wear because it is so based on your body type and what you think you look best in or what you feel like you look best in. But fitted jeans and pants, I felt like I could get away with because there's so many styles of it. It could be high-waisted if that's what you want. It could be mid-rise. It could be low-waisted. Doesn't matter. It could be boot cut. It could be flare. It could be straight leg. Doesn't matter. It could even be a skinny jean if that's what you want. You could cuff them once and have a longer pair. They could be a little bit more of like a thick flare. Like, it doesn't matter, but having this kind of fitted jean or pant, whether blue jeans, white, black, cheetah, any print ever, paisley, plaid, whatever, like there's so many ways to fit it into your style. I really think that especially if you're somebody who like is going out with your friends, going for like drinks, even to the bar, to dinner, or like have a daytime thing where you want to look cuter, fitted jean like just takes an outfit to the next level. You can wear it with just like a little baby tee, not like a crop tee, but like a baby tee. Unless you're wearing a high-waisted jean that's fitted, then you can wear like a little bra top. It's just so versatile and really takes an outfit from like this very loose baggy jean with a cute top to a little bit more of like a mature on-trend version with a fitted jean or pant. I hope that makes sense. Not that I'm getting rid of like my baggy jeans or baggy pants, I am not, but sometimes you do need a fitted pant in your closet, that's all. Next spring essential is texture. When I was looking at my spring Pinterest board, what I'm seeing is like not specific pieces, but to me, I'm seeing texture. I'm seeing textures mixed together, which I did talk about in my spring trends, but this could be chiffon, suede, silk, satin, knit, beaded pieces, hide, like cowhide, and then pairing them together. I think that this is just such a fun look. It's something I talk about all the time on my Index. If you didn't know, I do personal styling on the app Index. Number one question I get is people saying they don't know how to layer. And especially coming into the warmer months, they're like, how do I layer and make outfits interesting when it's too hot? You have to use pattern, texture, and silhouette as layering aspects. Instead of saying like, I need to put on a long sleeve with a short sleeve on top and a tank top on top top and then pants and a skirt. Like, it's too hot to function like that, or to me it's just uncomfortable and impractical. Wearing a satin dress with a knit poncho on top and then layering jewelry, that's layering. Or just wearing a pair of suede pants, a satin tank top, that's layering. It makes the outfit interesting without having any extra pieces on. So play with texture. Texture is so easy to get secondhand, obviously, because it's not one piece that everybody's honed in on, that like everybody wants suede pants. No, people want suede pants, of course, they're cute, but you can find them eBay, ThredUp. Especially ThredUp is such a good way to search things, and the prices are so good. Before we get any further into this video, I want to say thank you so much to Negative for sponsoring. They're a New York-based brand redefining everyday intimates. These bras from Negative are my new holy grail. I have one on right now that I'll show you in a second. I can't show it on bod because it's mesh, but I got 2 underwire bras that still have the support of a bra with underwire in it, but the comfort of basically no bra. They have really inclusive sizing, so even if you have a bigger bust and a smaller frame, which I normally do, you can still fit into Negative's bras and bralettes, which not a lot of brands carry sizing like that when it's absolutely needed. This is the Glacé bra. It literally looks and fits like a bikini. Love that there's no bumps or anything to see when I'm wearing a top on top of it. I'll show this one on. But I'm currently wearing the Sieve bra. This one again is no underwire, it's mesh. I really haven't taken it off, which you might see when I show you. Here's the Sieve bra. Again, it's mesh. It has adjustable straps. It has the adjustable clasps in the back. So I know with my ever-changing body that this will fit. And then here is the Glacé bra. Again, it just like looks like a bikini. It's so forgiving under this white fabric. You can't see any lumps or bumps. I just love it, smooths everything out while being so comfortable. And I'm all about comfort at this point in my pregnancy. So if you guys want to shop anything from Negative, I'll have the 2 bras linked in the description box, but also just the link to Shop Negative's website. They offer so much more than just bras and undies. They have sleepwear and swim, or you can scan the QR code on screen. Thank you again to Negative for sponsoring this video. Let's get into the rest of it. My mic died, but the next thing I was talking about is color blocking, and I feel like I talk about color blocking all the time, but seriously, if you're not color blocking yet, you need to be. This is such a spring essential. Every time I post an outfit, basically being pregnant, the only thing that fit me or that I've bought to fit me right now are basics. Color blocking is like my go-to crutch for creating a cute outfit right now, and it's something that so many people already have in their closet. So color blocking to me, and I'm pretty sure like technically, it's just 2 bold colors coming together with a sharp contrast. Bold colors could be navy blue and white. It could be black and white. It could be brown and tan. They're like bold in contrast to each other, if that makes sense. What wouldn't be color blocking is having 2 patterns together. But even sometimes I consider, like, if you were wearing like a snake print pant, more of like when you look at it, the pattern doesn't stick out as much as the color, and you wore bold colored top, like I would even consider that color blocking and have fun with it. Obviously you don't have to have rules when you're getting dressed. Try things out. Whatever you think is color blocking, try it out and see if it works with the pieces you have or your outfit. For color blocking, for me, right now I have quite a few pair of just like cotton pants with like a cinched in waist, and they're very relaxed, wide leg, and I'll wear those with a colored top. So like I have an army green pair and I wear it with a baby blue like t-shirt or long sleeve, and that's color blocking. It's not anything too crazy or out there. We can consider black a bold color if you're wearing all white as a base. Anything can be considered in juxtaposition of what you're wearing. So I hope that makes sense. But color blocking is just such a good way and such an easy way to get dressed right now. It's so practical. It is so effortless, but it's super, super cute, and so many ways to do it. You could do it with skirts, pants, even dresses, and putting different tops on top. I don't really consider it if you're like putting a top under a dress. Again, try it out, who cares? It's such a spring essential to me, and it's definitely moving into the summertime because it's a great way to pick out an outfit in the summer when it's too hot to function, too hot to layer, too hot to do too much. The colors do everything for you. It's a hack. Next spring essential that I can't wear right now are knee-high boots. Leather knee-high boots. Specifically riding boots, but I even consider like my cowboy boots a spring essential.
whatever knee-high boots you want to wear. It's such a good way to wear your summer dresses and skirts in the months where it's still a little bit too cold. Right now, because like no pants fit in my closet, all I want to do is wear my summer dresses, midi maxi dresses, my midi maxi skirts that have like a stretchy waist that I can get on, but it's still too cold to have my bare legs out. And then my knee-high boots, my calves are not getting in those suckers anymore. They lasted a lot longer than I thought. I feel like I was like 7 months and I still could get them in my Cezanne knee-high boots. Cezanne has a bit of a wider calf just on the regular boots, but yeah, no, not even close anymore. Like I think they like are scrunched, you know, down to the bottom where it just looks, it's ill-fitting, so it looks horrible. But yeah, knee-high boots are so awesome for transitioning into the summertime, or transitioning from winter to spring. Also just because like weather, if it's like muddy or rainy or whatever. A hunter boot could work as this. Honestly, it doesn't have to be a leather knee-high boot, just a knee-high boot in general. I'm just thinking of my leather boots and how much I miss them and how much I want to wear them. The next thing is one that I probably say in every single one of these videos, but a leather shoe. Loafer, a ballet flat, a Mary Jane, a boot, Doc Marten, like sneaker shoe. A leather shoe just takes your outfit from sneaker to leather shoe. And sometimes I love a sneaker, like especially a very athletic, bold sneaker with an outfit where it doesn't make sense, like wrong shoe theory. But day to day, if I want my outfit just to feel that extra bit polished, I'm throwing on my loafers. They don't fit right now, but they really do take it to the next level. The only leather shoe that fits me right now are my brown Mary Jane's Doc Martens. They're so beat up, but they still give this like 90s cute flair that, you know, a sneaker wouldn't. So many ways to get a leather shoe that it could actually fit in anybody's closet, anybody's wardrobe, but I'm sure most of you watching my videos already have a leather shoe in your closet. Try it out with any outfit. When you think like, oh, I'm gonna just put on my sneakers, my Gazelles, my Sambas, whatever, put on a leather shoe. I think it's a lot more trendy right now. It's literally not trendy. It's just a leather shoe. Okay, and the last thing that I think is a spring wardrobe essential for 2026 is a funky purse. Spring is when you can finally wear like a t-shirt and jeans, and that's like my favorite outfit ever. I can't wear it right now, but I can't wait to wear it again. A t-shirt and jeans you can wear with sneakers or a leather shoe, but if you want to take it just like the next level of feeling a bit cuter, add a funky purse, like a beaded purse, animal print, even suede, honestly, polka dot, any print, a wicker basket. Just a purse can change an outfit so much, and it's such an easy way to take like a boring outfit into something a little bit more bold and interesting, even if it's a fun silhouette. I'm loving the super mini purses on a long strap right now. Pretty impractical. I'm gonna have to be carrying my like diaper backpack around pretty soon, which means I can carry an impractical tiny bag because I already have to carry this giant bag around with me. So that's exciting. That's it though for my spring 2026 wardrobe essentials. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me video ideas in the comments below that don't require trying on clothes, because even postpartum we'll see how much fits me, and I don't really know when this is going live. But I love you guys absolutely, and I'll see you in a few days. Bye.